Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stump back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're hopping into the Garps challenges, the 10-star events, utilizing a mono INT team, taking them all down with the same team. Now, this run would not be possible without this man on screen. V4 Law is an absolute god of the Garps challenges. So, without this guy, this guy just makes it ridiculously easy. So I was streaming a couple of days ago now, and I was doing all the Garps challenges, and this particular team that you guys are about to see first inspired me to make this sort of series of videos. So we are utilizing a mono INT team to take down all of the Garp challenges 10 stars, and this is what the team looks like here. Now, as of me recording this, I have actually beaten all of them, except for Quick. I have the team build, I just haven't done the recordings. I'm pretty sure it'll work anyway, but hopefully I'll have them out for you guys in consecutive days. But for members, I will have them up early access for you guys. So if you want to check them out, make sure to watch, hit them up on the channel. If you guys are subscribers and you want to become members, consider hitting that join button. And while you're down there, just maybe smash that like button too, because, you know, like, why not? And if you're new, consider subscribing as well. But this is the team. It is led by our boy V4 Law. His reflection damage is just absolutely wild. It's so much fun. I actually love this legend, and I think I'll probably limit break key him after the next treasure map, just because I love running this guy so much. He's restrictive to mono imp, but in is still a very good color. We do have Corazon support on our Law. It does help out with the bind, especially on Revolutionary Army, but for the rest of the time, it's not overly essential, but definitely for Revolutionary Army 1. Our next unit is Sunguro, the Sober Cook. He is great as he's a color affinity booster. He can give orbs. He does healing. This team is basically just built around healing and letting Law just do all the heavy lifting. The big thing about Sanji is, though, we can use this pudding support to remove the stun on the Enel stage. That is very important. Next, we have Shirashari. Shirashari here are gods for the Whitebeard challenge because they can actually remove the normal attacks only. Obviously, Law's biggest downside is normal attacks only, but with the 10-star challenges, we only get 3 turns of it on the Marco and Vista stage, so we can actually remove it with this particular unit here. They're also very handy using their switch ability to remove special bind on the Enel stage, and they provide a lot of healing, which is great for Law because we can just take heaps of damage and throw it all back. So they're very good and probably essential purely for the Whitebeard fight. Next, we've got Jinbei. Jinbei's here for damage reduction and defense up removal. Jinbei also procs Law's super typing, but he is replaceable with like someone like Iron on this team, as long as you have double special, or even someone like a limited rare recruit Aokiji could work as well. But Legend Jinbei, very good unit. Now, if you are using Jinbei, you can easily replace this Mihawk. Now, I pretty much just brought this Mihawk as a flex. Like, he just worked great alongside Law. But another, like, heavy-duty in attack booster would work very well. Someone like V2 Shanks, even like Raid Carrot. Like, they could all work very well as well. But if you don't have Jinbei and you do have this Mihawk, he works great to proc the super typing as well. Finally, we're using the Liberal Hind. Just that extra healing for Law is very good. He's a slasher, he's a cerebral, so we can get the Liberal Hind's effect. Works very well as 1.6 times shifts. But that's the team, guys. Let's hop into the runs. Alright, so we're starting at Heavenly Demon 1 with the Mono INT team. Now, this is by far the easiest of all of the runs, taking on the 1 team versus 4 10-star Garp challenge events, as V4 Law just, honestly, him and Kaido are just absolute god tiers for this particular like content, as normal attack only don't exist in Garp's challenges, the 10-star events anyway, besides Whitebeard, but as you'll see, we are using Shirashari to get around that. But first of all, we are taking on Heavenly Demon 1. You guys saw the team in the intro, so I'm not really going to talk about the comp too much, but we will go through the actual event. So on stage 2, when we come up against the vacuum cleaner lady, she's just a Psy unit, so we're just going to pop a Law special, fly through her HP, and move on very quickly. On the next stage against Rebecca, she puts up the defense up, and she paralyzes us, which is a little bit annoying. But we have Law, so we are just going to remove the defenses up with our Jinbei special, and then we can just let Rebecca do a bunch of damage to us, and then we can just throw all that damage back. Now, I am just sort of like, we do have an all buff, so like I said, screw it, I may as well just attack with the paralysis, but you guys just can single tap there and just move on. As you'll see, Law's just like, here, have a casual 1.5 mil, and because we have 2 Laws, it's a double 1.5 mil. On the next turn against the Dressrosa units, this is where, like, depending on your counters, depending on what you want to do here, if like 3 of them are attacking, you want to make sure you are at max HP, so don't be afraid to pop a Law super typing there, just so you can get a little bit more HP. On the next stage, when we come up against Barto gives us Despair, and that's another reason Law is just so good for this, because he just removes like 10 turns of Despair, and with 2 of them it becomes 20 turns, and it's just a character that we just don't have to think about on the team. Law and Mihawk actually have Barrier Pen as well, and as you can see, just maximizing that against a Psy unit, we can just destroy Barto, absolutely clap him. Easy peasy. So on the next stage against Treble and 3 of the like pirate units, we're just going to use a super typing of Law here, as we do want to be at max HP. We have to take the shots from the 3 units in the back, and as you'll see, they do hit us very, very hard. Around, what, 36k? But, as you guys know, that just means Law is going to throw 7 million damage to all those enemies in the back. It's just nuts. Moving into the final stage against Dofi and all of his pirate lackeys. We still have the paralysis, but we're just not even a little bit phased by that, as we just have this team that's full of healers. The pudding support activates there because obviously we need that for the Enel fight. But with this particular team, we can use our Shirishari special. That's going to put us back to full HP. And then we can actually just take some damage. Now, I wasn't sure how much damage the Cannoneer and the chick with the machine gun arm does. So I was just like, screw it. I'm just going to take 1 shot from these guys, as that is going to be plenty of damage to throw back and kill all the enemies around the outside besides Dofi. Once we kill all those other enemies, we can just pop our Mihawk special, we can pop our Law special, and with the attack and the orb boost, we can actually just devour Dofi. On top, as if we actually kept the Cannoneer chick alive, we could even just take more damage, throw that damage back with Law. Law, honestly, is becoming like one of my favorite legends to use. The downside to Law is obviously he's very restrictive to just mono int, but Int have some of the best units in the entire game, and as you'll see, he has no issues getting through Heavenly Demon 1. So moving into the next Garp challenge, we're going to take on Revolutionary Army 1. We're just going to move from left to right. Obviously, utilizing the exact same team. Now, with Law and this particular team, you just really want a way to activate the super typing, but there are some replacements that you guys can do for this particular team. So, like, Jinbei can be replaced with Iron, as long as you have double special activation. But if you do that, you do need to make sure you bring a Mihawk unit or some other unit to, like, trigger the super typing. But if you have Jinbei, you could even replace this Mihawk with just another solid attack booster. So on stage 2 of Revolutionary Army 1, when we come up against Kuma, we are going to use the Jinbei special to remove the defense up, because our boy Kuma is a Psy unit. As you'll see with the Law special, we can just pop that. We don't even need to really pop that, but at the same time, like, we're not going to need it later, so like I figured hell we may as well use it now, right? On stage 3, we come up against Robin and a bunch of her girlfriends, I guess. They're going to bind our captains for 2 turns. This is where the Corazon support on Law is god tier, because then we don't have to worry about removing that. We can just utilize the support to remove the 2 turns of bind, and we will see that again later in some of the other events. That way we can just use our normal attacks, take out the girls around the outside before I think they just spare us, which wouldn't matter with Law anyway, but you can easily clap them just with normal attacks. On the next stage, against Ivankov and Inazuma, they're going to blow away one of our units, and because of that, it actually reduces our HP, and because of that, it means Law just throws the damage back, and Inazuma just doesn't even stand a chance at that point, which is so much, like, reflection damage that we can easily kill him, and then just finish off Ivankov in that same turn. On to the next stage now, against Borle and Bello Betty. This is where things can get a little bit interesting, because Bello Betty is on a 1-turn cooldown, so she's going to attack every single turn, but Morley's on a 3-turn cooldown, so Belly Betty's actually going to hit us fairly hard as she has attack up, but because of that, Law's just like, thanks so much, I'm going to throw that damage back. Now, if you want to, you can remove the barrier of Morley there, and that way you can just throw more reflection damage back, but you have 3 turns to take him out, and just Law in general with his normal attacks, as up to a 5 times captain for Int is just wild. It's just wild how much damage you can do in a normal attack and then take damage and throw more damage back. It's so much fun using this unit. On to the next stage against Lindbergh and Karasau. They're going to bind our right-hand side for 5 turns. This is where things get a little bit interesting because we don't have a way to get around that bind. They also give us a full water block orb, so we do want to try and get rid of those. But it's really not going to matter with the Shirishari special anyway. So you can just probably single tap here and make your way through it and make the run a little bit quicker. But Law flies through these events, man. Like, you just literally just run 2 Laws and win. Like, that's the concept of the Heavenly Demon 1, the Revolutionary Army 1, the WhiteBeard and the Enel Pirates. Obviously, when it comes to Enel, there's going to be some things that we have to sort of get around, but at the same sense, it's not really that big of an issue. On the final stage against Saba Koala, give us 3 turns of burn. This is where we're going to use our Shirahoshi or Shirashari special. Now, you don't actually have to use that special if you don't want to. You could probably just, like, use the Soba Cook special, and that way you can actually, like, take a few burn shots and then just reflect the burn damage back. But I did bring Mihawk on this team. I do have Law with the carryover special effect, and I figured let's just use Shirashari special to heal us back up, get rid of the block orbs, remove the burn, then we can get the carryover effect on the res to finish them off on the second stage. And with that, it's just GG. Sabakwa don't even stand a chance. V4 Law is just, he's so much fun. On to the next challenge, we come up against WhiteBeard. Now, WhiteBeard's where things get a little bit interesting because there are normal attacks only. And that's why we actually, not only Shirashari being a very good healer, this is the big reason why Shirashari is on the team. Mainly to satisfy the normal attack only removal with their amazing special ability. So not only are they just a great healer for all of the other fights, they just literally are built or put on this team purely to get rid of that normal attacks only. On the stage 2 of WhiteBeard Pirates, we come against Watermelon Headman. He does a HP cut, which just means, like, sorry, bro, we're not even taking a turn on you. We're literally killing you before your preemptive even comes through. Law just... Preemptives for Law when they do HP cuts and stuff like that, it's so fun to watch. On the next stage against Higuma, Atmos, and Mr. Chainball guy, they're going to hit us fairly hard because we still have 3 turns, the 2 turns of attack down. But... because they hit us so damn hard, means we can throw back damage so damn hard. And then on to the second stage, or third stage, against Speed Giru, Iso, and Fossa. We have 3 turns of Special Bind still, so using specials to heal back is a little bit tricky, but that's where the super typing of Law is absolutely amazing, as we can actually rely on his super typing to get us back to full HP. Well, not full HP, he heals 50%, but enough so we can tank a shot from Speed Giru, then throw that damage back. The 2 Laws throwing damage back is just, it's so cool to watch. And it's so much damage too, like 1.5 mil, like 3 million out of 10 damage. It's just wild, absolutely wild. On to the next stage, we come up against Jozu. Jozu has 3 turns of damage reduction defense up, and that's where the Jinbei special is amazing. Once again, if you have someone like Iron, you could use Iron, or even like limited rare recruit Aokiji could work well too. But Jinbei is another way to proc the super typing for you guys. So there is that as well. With Jozu, you do want to try and do a little bit of damage to him, as the reflection damage only being around 3 mil, you need to make sure that you have done enough damage to him to make sure that reflection damage does kill. So make sure you are attacking on that particular stage. On to the second last stage against Marco and Vista. This is where we get 3 turns of paralysis, 3 turns of chain lock, and 3 turns of attack down. With the Corazon support, once again, we can remove 2 turns of the paralysis. And this is where we can use our Shirashari special to not only remove 3 turns of normal attacks only, but we can also remove the attack down as well. They also give us a full heal, which makes us lets us tank a shot from Marco and Vista. And because they do so much damage, it means we're going to throw so much damage back. 5.7 mil against Marco. That's just crazy what this guy can do. Crazy. Like, I remember when Kaido first came out, and it's just like all that like end of turn damage, but like with Law just reflecting that damage and then just consistently healing, it's just so cool, so cool. On the final stage against WhiteBeard and Ace, this is where we're going to pop our Law special, we're going to pop our Mihawk special, we get the attack boost, we get the orb buff, and we can just basically finish off Ace and WhiteBeard fairly easily. We're going to use the super typing just to heal back, just a bit of HP, just in case we do goofed and we don't actually kill, but I don't think it's really essential or even required at all. As you'll see, we just have so much damage. We don't kill WhiteBeard, unfortunately, but on the second turn with the carryover effects of the Halloween slashes, just makes life very, very easy to take out both Ace and WhiteBeard. So that was WhiteBeard, easy clap. So for the final Garbs challenge, we're taking on Eneru. Now, Eneru is probably the most fiddly out of all of them, but I do think that Dofi is actually probably the hardest. For Law, Dofi's not that hard because Law removes Despair, but the mechanics of the Enel fight are a little bit finicky, and that's the big reason we have a Sanji on this team to utilize the pudding support. Because we have Shirashari here too, we can use her switch ability to remove our special bind. They're very, very good for this particular team as well, but it's not overly essential with the Halloween slashes because you can actually use their carryover effect to get into the final stage and not worry about the special bind. But on stage 2, when we come up against the 3 Skypiea units, we're going to get binded on 3 of our random crewmates. And this is where Corazon, once again, is absolutely amazing because he can remove the bind. But in saying that, it's not essential, as you'll see, because we are just going to take a shot and just let Law's end turn damage just kill them. easy peasy. On the next stage against Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they have a great barrier for 3 hits, but they also give us 2 turns of burn. So with the Halloween slashes, they actually have barrier pen, which means we can actually break the barrier as well as do a little bit of damage. And then on top of that, we can use our other units to do a little bit of damage and just let the reflection damage do the rest of the work. Now, you can actually hit perfects here and let the burn do like damage and do more damage to Tweedledee and Tweedledum. But because we have 2 laws, that reflection damage is just enough to like get them low enough to finish them off on the second turn. And that way we can just sort of gobble up some meat orbs if they turn up as well. As you'll see there with the barrier pen, you just take them out easy peasy and move on to the next stage. If you want to there, you can use a super typing of Law, because when we move into this stage against Wiper, we actually get a HP cut. And obviously the more HP we have, the bigger the cut, which means bigger the reflection and bigger the death. Catch us later. But as you'll see with the HP that I had, we did manage to kill the 2 units in the back very, very easily. And then we've got 2 turns to take Wiper out nice and easily. You can be using the switch abilities of Shiri too to remove the special bind. But as you'll see here, like we haven't even needed to use this. We haven't even come close to needing to use the special. So it's just easy to let the boy Law do all the work, right? He's here for all the heavy lifting, and he makes this easy peasy. So on the next stage against Mr. Top Hat on the ball and Mr. Not Pierre, they are going to put up 4 turns of Threshold on the Psy unit. And as long as you have one of the super typings of Law active at some point throughout the run, you can easily take him out just by hitting normal attacks. Do a buttload of damage to Not Pierre, and then he's going to hit us. Then once again, as the whole video is entailed by, Law just says, catch you later. On the next stage against Gidatsu and they are going to bind our bottom 2 units for 4 turns, which goes down to 1 turn with sockets. Lucky for us, we do get our special back, which means we get a little bit of healing from our liberal hind. But as you can see with our HP, we really don't need it. Is going to bind our healing for 8 turns, but with limit break, we can get rid of that, as well as putting up 99 turns of end of turn damage. That end of turn damage is a little bit annoying, but it really doesn't matter because like we're going to kill them before that becomes any issue whatsoever. If you want to, like, you can use a Law special here. It really does not matter, as you don't need 2 of them for the final stage. But like you've seen throughout this entire run, if you don't kill we're gonna let him hit us, and we're just gonna say goodbye to both of them anyway. Law's reflection damage. I honestly cannot stress how much I love this mechanic. Like, it's animation's clean. It's the damage is awesome. It's such a unique effect, and it's so much fun. On final stage against Enel, he's going to turn into a Psy unit, as we do have a INT leader. He's going to wipe away all our cumulative buffs. He's going to stun our captains, give us 3 turns of special lock, and he's going to give us 3 turns of fear, which is annoying. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to pass a turn. Make sure you use Shiri's switch ability to remove 1 of the turns of special bind. So when it's the second turn, we can use the switch ability again to remove another turn of the special bind. We can use our Jinbei special to remove the damage reduction and the defense up, and then we can just use the Law and the Mihawk special for the attack and the orb boost, and we can just take out our boy Enel easy peasy. So that was the INT team. One team beats all of the Garp's challenges fairly simply, and definitely the easiest of the teams. As I mentioned in the beginning, I have the recordings done for all the other colors but I'm working on that. I got the team build, but I'll have them up for you as soon as possible. But guys, if you enjoyed this one, make sure to go down there and belt that like button. If you are new to the channel too, or you are enjoying the OPTC content, consider becoming a subscriber today. But guys, most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lights!